So under normal circumstances, movies that had a lead actor linked to all three would just be kind of not super interesting. But you and I know the name Kyle Gallner for a specific reason, and I don't know if you've ever told your tale, Jay.
Well, we told it on our Nightmare on Elm Street commentary track years ago.
Okay.
So I can tell a condensed version here.
Go ahead.
Well, this would have been 2009, I guess, right? When that movie come out, 2010?
Yeah.
And that was in our freelance days, pre-Red Letter Media days.
Pre-Lightning Fast VCR repair shop.
That was before we started working at the Lightning Fast VCR repair shop. I had a lot of free time on my hands, and I knew they were shooting the Nightmare on Elm Street remake in Chicago. And I don't even remember how I found it, but I saw they were looking for extras. It's like, oh, I love Freddy Krueger. It'd be fun to go down there and just be an extra for a scene or two. So I submitted my info to...
It doesn't go well, trust me.
Oh yeah, you know all about that. And even though this wasn't a real Nightmare on Elm Street movie, it's like, yeah, it'd be fun to go hang out.
I never even told my couples retreat story.
Ooh, we'll save that for another day. But yeah, so I submitted my info, be like, hey, I'm available for extras. And I think it was like even later that same day, someone from their offices contacted me. And they're like, hey, you are the exact same measurements as one of our lead actors. Would you like to be a stand-in? Like, which is, for anyone I guess that doesn't know, that's when they're setting up the lights and everything. They don't want the actor hanging around on set. But I said, sure. That's a good position, like if you're like a
You're Kyle Gallner's brother from another mother.
I guess, like that's a good position if you're like a wannabe actor. Like, oh, this is a good opportunity to get a lot of time on set, maybe talk with some other people. I didn't give a shit about any of that. I don't want to be an actor. I didn't want to be on the set of a movie, but I was like, it's a Freddy movie. Maybe this will be fun.
You just want to show up for like a half a day and be in a scene where Freddy's walking around the classroom going, I'm going to kill all you, and then be like, oh, that was great, bye.
Yeah, exactly.
But no.
But so I went down there. They're like, hey, we're meeting with all of our stand-ins, our main character stand-ins. On this day, can you be here? So I said, sure. Hung out on the set for a day. Met, what's his name? Thomas Decker, who at the time was on the Sarah Connor Chronicles, and he's in that movie. I saw Rooney Mara for like 2 seconds, and she looked like she wanted to kill herself.
Now, when you say you saw them, were they just like sitting there like smoking, or were walking by you? Or?
They were just hanging out. This was in like a big open room. They were still building some of the sets in the same, it was like a big open soundstage.
Oh, okay.
But they were mainly doing cast reference photos, like costume photos, and they wanted to take pictures of all the actors with their stand-ins.
Okay.
So somewhere out there in some vaults, in a salt mine somewhere, there's pictures of me awkwardly standing next to Kyle Gallner, because I was down there to be his stand-in. And I met Jackie Earl Haley. That's another story. That's on our commentary track.
He was not so excited about doing the Freddy movie.
No, well, that's what I discovered. Like I said, Rooney Mara looked miserable. And I found out later, there was like an interview where she said like she almost quit acting from working on that movie. It was very clearly a rushed production and nobody gave a shit. The director was Samuel Bayer, who did like the Smells Like Teen Spirit music video.
The aspirin guy.
He's the heir to the aspirin company.
Did you sign an NDA? Did you sign an NDA?
I don't think I signed anything.
Okay, then you could tell us what Jackie Earl Haley said.
Well, you know what? Go listen to our commentary track for that.
Quit shilling, you fuck.
Where I first heard that people were even thinking about me for this role was on the internet. And it was fans suggesting that I might be right for this role. And my immediate reaction was like,
He said he never even seen a Freddy movie, and then when he watched them in preparation for his role, and he said they sucked.
This is, yeah, we got in a situation. I was talking with a crew member who's like the only person happy to be there. He's clearly like a horror fan. It's like me and him, we're just like talking about Freddy. And then Jackie Earl Haley just like wandered up to us. And he's like, yeah, I watched, this was like the day before shooting started or something. He's like, yeah, I rewatched the first movie in my hotel room last night, and that was like the worst thing I'd ever seen. Here's her new Freddy. I don't know if I should be telling all these secrets, these trade secrets. But
well, you're not trying to be an actor.
Well, that's the thing, is like, I was like, oh, I'll go hang out on a Freddy movie, it'll be fun. And it was so clear from my time there that it was a giant clusterfuck. Nobody wanted to be there. And then they told me at the end of the day, after doing all their reference photos and stuff, I was leaving. And they're like, now we'll need you in about a week. We're going to start shooting, so that's when we would need you on set. And then I think, because this was in Chicago, so I drove back up to Milwaukee. I think you were there. I think like a group of us just like went out for drinks that same night. And then I got a phone call from their offices at like 2 a.m. We were walking back from a bar or something. And they're like, yeah, we need you on set at 6 a.m. tomorrow. And that's when I was like, and then I never talked to him again.
Oh, dang.
I got my one New Line Cinema check for my one day on set. I got my experience. Saw Jackie Earle Haley try on the sweater for the first time.
You got to take a Polaroid photo with Kyle Gallner?
That's out there somewhere in the world. I
Wait,
don't know.
where's Kyle Gallner? Can you find this photo?
It was like a series of photos. They just snapped a bunch of photos of us just like
I'm
standing
familiar
in
with
front of
they
a
are,
white
yeah.
backdrop.
Like there's like reference photos. They take
Yeah,
reference
yeah.
Polaroids so they can see like, oh, how do we do the makeup, and you know you got to match it, or just.
I think this was just like for height perspective wise.
Yeah.
I don't even know because I was just wearing my street clothes. But
So you match Kyle Gallner's height, weight, proportions well enough to be his stand-in. Mm-hmm. Well, if there's one thing I've learned from your story, is that if Kyle Gallner is in any way upset about our video, I know I could kick his fucking ass.